Hi everyone, it's Tony. I wanted to do a quick video and show you assembly instructions for the treat bag that we did in December's card class. And to save a little time, I already went through, I picked out my patterns and I scored my 6x6 DSP. So you're going to score it the same way on both pieces of paper. So it's 3/4 of an inch on one side, and then it's 1.5 inches for the next 3 sides. So again, that's 3/4 of an inch, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. And then you're going to cut them 2 different ways. One of them, you're going to cut the 2 corner tabs out. The other, you're going to just cut horizontally on those tabs. We're not cutting anything out. We're just cutting horizontally on those 2 tabs. And the real purpose of this is kind of to show you how I did the ribbon handles for the bags. I kind of liked them to be hidden on the inside. So like here's one that I did earlier. And the ribbons are tucked in there nice and neat. You don't see the ends of them. You can certainly, if you're trying to save time and you don't want to go through the extra steps, you can go ahead and assemble your bag and then just punch 2 holes on either side and feed your ribbon in through the front and simply tie a knot on the inside to hold those ribbons in place. But I kind of liked the cleaner look of having them tucked on the inside. So let me show you how you do that. I took both the pieces of my paper, and with the top of the cardstock, the 3/4 inch score line, I did use a ruler, and I measured about 1/8 of an inch down, and then these are about 1 inch apart. And to make sure that you're doing these evenly, I just, I put them together and then I punch them both at the same time. Okay. So to do the handles, you're going to be working from what is basically the inside of the bag. And I've got my ribbons. I think I cut these at about, let me see, about 8 inches, maybe a little bit more. So I'm going to come through and I'm going to press one of the ends in and just pull it through. You don't have to worry about measuring anything at this point. You're just going to pull it through the hole, and then you're going to take the second piece and you're going to feed that in as well. Well, easy for me to say. I can't get that little corner to go here. Of course, let me fold it a little bit and see if that helps. Yes, it did. Okay. Now this is where you'll want to kind of play around with your ribbon and make sure that it's all going in the same direction. So you might want to fiddle around with it a little bit just to make sure that you don't have a crimp in your ribbon. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there, and I'm just going to come around and do it the same thing for the second piece. Again, you're going to work with what's basically the inside of the bag, and you'll feed through one end, and then you're going to feed through the second end. Just twist and turn, make sure these are all going to go in the right direction. Okay, now we're going to flip this over and turn it this way. It's a little bit easier for me. Now I'm going to take this 3/4 inch piece and I'm going to fold this over. I'm going to just hold it in place, and then I'm going to gently tug on the ribbon until the end of it just disappears under that folded piece. So I'm going to do the same thing. My ribbon's twisted a little bit. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to pull that until it disappears under the edge. Okay. This is going to ensure that your ribbon's going to be the same size on both sides of the bag. Okay. So now I'm going to open this up. Generally, well, actually, I do have some liquid glue available. So I like working with either the liquid glue, tear tape, or if you use, Stampin' Up! Has something called Stampin' Seal Plus, which is an extra strong double-sided adhesive. And this will work as well, but you want something with substantial grip. Actually, I am going to use this tape instead of the liquid. So I'm going to come and put my tape, you're going to put it just above the score line. And then I'm going to put a second layer just to, and this tape, let's say, is pretty strong, and it will sometimes pull up on your cardstock a little bit. So you just have to be a little gentle with that. So now I'm going to fold this over, and I'm going to press down really well, and especially where those ends of the ribbon are, because I don't want those to come sliding out. Okay, we'll move that aside, and now we'll come over and do the same with with this piece. Okay, so I'm going to fold my flap, and I want to pull these ends. And if you're pulling them just so that they disappear under that layer, then just again, you're ensuring that the loops are going to be the same size for your bag. Okay, and there's a little bit hanging out under here, but we're not going to worry about that too much. So I come back in with my Stampin' Seal Plus. Oops, see, it's pulling that up. That is really a strong grip tape. Tear tape might be a little more user-friendly. Okay, and now I'm going to again press that down and just press really, really well. Okay. Okay. I'm going to pull that up a little bit more and then press that. Okay, so that's what the outsides look like now. Okay. So now you can come and start the assembly of the bag. And I always like to work with this piece, the one that's got the center tab, and then laying that inside this piece here. And again, I'm going to, just for quickness, I'm going to go ahead and use this tape. Use what your preferred adhesive is. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of lay it here. And before I really press everything down, I'm just going to make sure that I can pull these sides up, and that this side will come up as well, because we don't want anything to hinder the folding of this bag. And actually this is a little off center for me. Let me try this. This is a little bit better. It's a little tricky when you're working with the same pattern. You're trying to line this up. So I do understand that. Just take your time. And there we go. That's better. That's better. Okay. So now I've got that piece done. And then next we're going to do our flaps. And you're just going to make sure you can fold the score lines there. And again, I'm doing this pretty quickly because I just want to show you the assembly part. So I'm going to turn that in and attach that, and turn that in and attach that. And now I'm ready for my tape here. And you do want to come as close to the edge as you can, because you want your seams to be well taped.
Did you give many pills?
So just put your tape down here. Sorry for the interruption. Dinner time for the doggy. Okay. And again, I would normally take a little bit more time on this, but just trying to this put together for you. Well, there is something to be said about rushing, so let's not try to go so fast, Tony. All right, there we go. There we go. How many times have I said in class, don't let the project work against you, let it work for you. So putting it down on your table and getting a little bit of sturdy setting helps tremendously. Look at that. See what happens when you do it the right way and take your time. Okay, so that is your assembled bag. And as I said, you're not seeing the knots on the inside of the bag with your ribbon. Tuck a little piece of tissue paper in there and put your gift, and you're all set to go. And of course you can decorate the front of that any way you'd like. And I understand from the original person who created this, a Little Debbie's cake fits in here perfectly. The different size or shapes of the cakes they have fit in here perfectly. So there's a little idea if you need one. Thanks again for taking the time to watch, and I hope you enjoy the project, and I'd love to see any that you might make. Take care.